Hello everyone and welcome back to another video with me, that embroidery girl, and today it's a continuation of the mini floral series that I promised you. This is a beginner friendly embroidery and it's this super cute sunflower with some really nice perle cotton threads. Last week I got a really cool package from Pakistan and it was these perle cotton balls, so I absolutely love this type of thread to do embroidery on because it's perfect for dimensional embroidery. So I'm going to be using this really nice vivid yellow, a lovely rich dark brown that you can see here. This is going to be for the middle part of the flower, and then this lovely vivid green for my leaves and my stalk. And I'm going to need a needle with an eye that's big enough for this crochet thread to go through. And a water soluble pen. I bought this from eBay. I bought a huge pack and I think it's like £2-3 quid. It's super cheap. So I'm going to start off by drawing a circle as big as I want the middle of my flower to be, and then I'm going to place some dots around the outside, roughly even, to dictate where I want my petals to finish. And now I'm going to begin the embroidery. So I've got a double length of thread on my needle and I've got a knot at the bottom that you can see here, and I've come up where I started my dotted line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my needle back into the fabric where this circle is, so I've got a straight line stitch, and then come up again without pulling all that thread through next to my first entry point like so. I'm then going to split this thread, so I've got each strand in my hands, and I'm going to fold one side over so I've got this little loop that you can see me holding right there. I'm then going to place this loop over the top of the needle like so, and then repeat with the other side. Don't pull these too tightly, because if you pull them too tightly the thread and the needle will not go through. So you just need to pull these until they close like this. You're going to need to put enough stitches on your needle so that it fills the space between the dotted line and your drawn circle. This is the perfect amount for me. So what I'm going to do is pull that needle through. Be careful because these strands tend to tangle because of all of the sort of twisting that you're doing to the threads. So just pull them through really carefully until it's nice and tight and lays flat to the fabric, and then bring your needle back down through the fabric where that ends. And repeat that process again to fill in your petals. So you're going to do it north, south, east, west, and then fill in like this, and then go around and fill in all the gaps. And do this so that you can get a really nice even look to your petals. And now we're going to take that rich brown. Again, I'm in a double thread with a knot at the bottom, and I'm going to wrap this thread around my needle around about 4 or 5 times. Bring those wraps down to the fabric and my needle through the fabric, and then pull through. And this is obviously a French knot stitch. I'm going to do this until I fill up this entire area. Now you can do this if you want to add some depth with a different colour, but I really like just a single symbol colour here. I'm going to draw in the stem now and the leaves. I want some really nice big full leaves because that's what sunflowers obviously have. So I'm going to start the stem now, and again I've got that double amount of thread on the needle with a knot at the bottom, and I'm going to come up and go down in the same place and then catch that loop that is formed with my needle coming up. Keep this length kind of small because you want relatively small chain stitches. Then repeat this process to create these loops. Keep going up until you finish the stalk, and then repeat the process again for the stems of the leaves. And I'm then going to whip this. So all whipping means is passing the thread through the chain. So it's not through the fabric, it's through the chain itself. And that creates a whipped stitch. This is a thicker whipped stitch than normal. Looks really nice. And I'm going to do that again for this slightly longer stem here. I'm then going to create some bullion knots on the leaf, kind of like a fishbone design I'm going to do. So go up and then come down and then come up again at the distance that you want your bullion to be, and then wrap your thread around the needle like I'm doing right here. Keep those wraps nice and even, manipulate them with your finger if you need to. I do my bullions a little bit different to everyone else. This works for me. If it works for you better to keep the needle inside the fabric, then you do you. I'm going to measure that distance to make sure that I have enough wraps, and then once I'm happy, I'm just going to pull these wraps down and pass the needle through, pull it really nice and tight so it sits flat against the fabric, and then take the needle down. I'm then going to do one side and then the other until I've filled up that shape. So next I'm going to do the traditional fishbone stitch with the other leaf. So I'm going to create one first stitch and then one side and then the other until I've filled up this whole leaf. So I'm going to repeat this process to fill up the space. I'm not being too precious with it. I actually quite like that it's a little bit spaced out. And here is the finished design. It's a super cute and super simple beginner friendly sunflower. If you enjoyed this tutorial and you have any suggestions or any comments to make, please leave them down in the comment box. Please like and subscribe. It's helping me grow. I've been growing so much